Before chains, before darkness, before the ship, they were people of villages across West Africa. Farmers, traders, drummers, daughters, warriors, mothers, storytellers. They had names, families, languages, and traditions older than the oceans themselves. Some were captured in sudden raids at dawn, their villages set ablaze. Some were betrayed by rival groups. Some were kidnapped along trade routes. Some were sold by local rulers desperate for weapons or control. And all were marched in chains to the coast. There they saw something unimaginable, a giant wooden fortress floating on the water, the slave ship that would steal their world. The enslaved Africans were forced into the darkest parts of the ship, chained shoulder to shoulder. There was no space to stand, barely space to breathe. The air was thick, hot, and heavy with fear. Above deck, the crew celebrated their valuable cargo. To them, the human beings below were profit, not people. The ship sailed from Africa with over 440 enslaved Africans, more than the ship was ever designed to hold. Every inch of space was filled. Every breath below deck was a struggle. But for a while, the sea was calm, and the captain believed the voyage would be profitable. The captain, Luke Collingwood, was inexperienced and arrogant. He had sailed before, but never as master of a ship. He underestimated the currents, misread the winds, and set the ship on the wrong course. Days turned into weeks. Weeks stretched into desperation. Food dwindled. Barrels of fresh water ran low. Disease spread quickly below deck. Dysentery, fever, weakened bodies collapsing from heat and hunger. The crew argued with the captain. They begged him to turn back, but his pride was stronger than his sense. He stayed on course, the wrong one. The enslaved Africans suffered the most. Cramped together with little air and no sanitation, sickness swept through the hold. People coughed, fainted, trembled. Mothers tried to quiet crying children so the overseers wouldn't punish them. Elders whispered prayers to ancestors for strength. Young men pressed their hands against the wooden walls, imagining they could break them. Some died from disease, some died from starvation, some simply could not hold on any longer. The crew began to fear a total loss of cargo, but the captain feared something else, the loss of money. One night, as the ship drifted under a starless sky, the captain gathered his officers. The lantern light flickered against their faces. "We cannot arrive with the sick," he said. "The insurers will not pay us." An officer asked, "What do you propose?" The captain answered coldly, "We throw the sick ones overboard. The insurers will compensate us. Lost cargo during an emergency." Silence fell. Some officers looked at the floor. Some nodded slowly. Some swallowed their discomfort. But no one openly opposed him. The next morning, the enslaved Africans were brought up in small groups. The wind was strong. The sea churned beneath them. Fear spread through the deck like fire. People cried out in their languages. Some begged through tears. Some resisted, fighting with the strength of desperation. The crew pushed them to the rail. And then, the first bodies hit the water. The sea swallowed them. The crew called it necessary. The ocean called it murder. The killings continued, day after day, wave after wave. But something powerful happened among the enslaved Africans. Instead of collapsing, they united. They held each other. They whispered prayers. They told stories of their homes to keep their souls alive. They sang softly in languages the crew could not understand. Some said the ancestors would meet them in the water. Some said their spirits would return home. Some said they would be remembered. Even in the darkest moment, they created light for one another. On the third day, a group of strong young men resisted fiercely. They fought the crew with bare hands, refusing to be taken easily. Their struggle bought precious time for others below deck. On the fourth day, a mother clung to her 2 children, refusing to release them even as the crew tried to separate them. On the 5th day, an elderly man raised his voice and shouted defiantly at the crew. His words, though not understood, shook the hearts of those who heard them. Some jumped willingly, choosing dignity over being cast. Their courage echoed across the waves. By the end, 130 enslaved Africans had been thrown into the Atlantic. 130 names lost, 130 families broken, 130 lives cut short because men valued money more than humanity. The ocean became their grave, but also their witness. When the ship reached Jamaica, the owners filed an insurance claim. 130 slaves lost at sea, compensation demanded. They expected payment. Instead, they were challenged. The insurers accused them of greed, not necessity. This ignited a legal battle in London. In London, abolitionist Granville Sharp learned of the case and was horrified. He spread the story, urging people to see it not as a business dispute, but as mass murder. In court, the owners argued, "They were cargo. We protected our investment." The insurers argued, "They killed them for profit." The judge, bound by the laws of the time, treated the case as property loss, not murder. But the public was outraged. Newspapers wrote about it. Churches preached against it. Ordinary citizens cried out for justice. The Zong case became the turning point that awakened Britain to the brutality of slavery. No one was punished for the massacre. No justice came to the victims in their lifetime. But their story ignited a powerful movement. A movement that would grow louder, a movement that would spread across oceans, a movement that would eventually break chains and destroy the legal slave trade. The 130 souls, though lost in the waves, changed history. Today, their story is not forgotten. Their voices echo through time. Their courage inspires generations. Their suffering shapes our understanding of the past. They were not cargo. They were not numbers. They were human beings, and the world remembers them. This is True Crime Mine, where we don't just tell stories of crime, we tell the stories of a system that cries out for justice.